Hello everybody out there in Flosstube world. This is Vicki, aka the Virginia Stitcher, coming to you with my Flosstube video number 51. Today I decided I would go over the last of my 62 new starts. Yes, I finished my I didn't finish them, but I started 62 things this year. I was doing this year for my 62nd birthday. And because I was born in 1962, I decided I would do 62 new starts. So in Flosstube video number 49, a couple of videos back, I showed you the first 31 that I started. And now I have started the next 31. So now I have 62 new starts for the year. And now I can just pick up and stitch on whichever ones and any of my whips that I already have going. Because if you see, this is a new view of my crafting room, my stitching room. This is my wall of whips back here. Let me see if I can get out of the way enough. So I was afraid they all wouldn't fit here once I added 62 more, but they did. You can see some empty spaces because that's where I've taken out the 31 that I'm going to show you today. I went through and I made sure and I organized them. I wanted to organize the whole top row all the way across are samplers. So it starts out with reproduction samplers here. And I think these are Blackbird, then Teresa Kogut, Brenda Gervais, and keeps going across to all of my samplers are at the top row. And then I started doing seasonal, like winter, Christmas, winter, fall. And my fall, this one right here, the fall one is kind of empty right now because a lot of my whips that I'm working on right now are fall. So, and so on across. And I think these down here are all of my Hawk Run Hollows. I have 6 of those on the go. And down at the very bottom down here, which you can barely see, those are, I think those are my patriotic ones that I have. So I put them all in categories so that I could find what I want easier, because when you're working with multiple whips, you have to have a little bit of organization or you're never going to find what you want, and it's going to be frustrating. And I don't like to get frustrated with my crafting. So I didn't want to take too long. I wrote a little bit of notes, but not a whole lot. I just want to say welcome to everybody. I'm sorry I've been away for so long, but you know what? I was watching a Flosstuber not that long ago that she says, we as women say sorry too much. And you should never have to be sorry for taking time to get back to your next video. Because you know what? This isn't a job and I don't want it to become a job. This is me sharing my love of my cross stitch with you guys. And sometimes a little of other crafting thrown in. But today is only going to be cross stitch, and it's only going to be my 31 new starts that I've had since my last video. Well, the 31 that I showed you, I think it was July 7th. So as of July 7th to now, I've worked on 31 more. So, and like I said, this is October 25th of 2024. So it's been a while, I know. There was never an opportune time for me to start a video, so I just didn't. Things were going on. In fact, I'm getting over a cold I just had. So I feel a lot better today, but you might find my throat might come and go, my voice. I'm hoping it'll last. And, but I didn't want to delay this video any longer. And some of these new starts are not going to have as much progress on them as I wanted them to have when I showed them to you. But I thought if I waited longer, I didn't want to wait any longer to show them to you. So the last few that I started, you're going to see some still on Q snaps, because those are things that I'm working on now. So, because I'm trying to get, I still want to work on them. I still want to get more progress on them before they get put away for their season or whatever it is. Because some of these are seasonal pieces that I know I'm probably, if it's a fall or Halloween piece, I'm probably not going to pick up again till at least maybe August, September, so of 2025. And so I know I like to love on them while I can. If I get the feeling to pick up something different, I do. But most of the time, I'm a seasonal stitcher. But occasionally, I'll pick up something different. But I tell you what, fall is my favorite season. I've got my Hello Fall sweatshirt on. If you're wondering what the rest of this says down here. because fall is my absolute favorite. And because I've switched around my view, I'm sitting in front of my window. I'm going to see if natural light, this is diffused natural light, because this is not my fit. Later in the day, the sun shines on the back of my house, and I'm facing the back of my house. My craft room, the windows in it are on the back side. Downstairs, so they're under a balcony, so it's diffused light, so it's not super bright. But I think I tested it a little bit today, and I think it's going to be bright enough for you guys to be able to see my stitching well. And because I'm facing the other way, I did not want to turn on my overhead lights because these are very bright and they would be glaring in your... I do have a slider to make them dimmer, but these would be glaring in your face. I just turned on the one little lamp that I have in my room that I use at night when I'm in here, because my stitching spot is actually right over here in the corner. And I have an OT light that I use while I'm stitching to have really bright light while I'm stitching all hours of the day. It doesn't matter if it's daytime, nighttime, when. I've always got the OT light on when I'm stitching in here. But then in the evening, I might put this one on just for a little bit more light. And a lot of times I'm watching TV, something on TV or listening to it while I'm stitching. So this is the other side of my craft room. I'm usually facing that way. And this window is behind me. It's usually what you see while you're watching my videos. So I don't want to go digress too far, because I've got a lot to show you. So I want to get started with a new start that I did. I started this one in the beginning of October. I purchased this chart when I was at Salty Yarns in September for my little retreat I do there. And went to Salty Yarns to go shopping and saw this chart. Actually, I saw the chart, liked the chart. I've always had this one on my mind. But when I saw this piece of fabric, I knew I needed to get this chart and I wanted to get it and stitch it. So I started it in October and finished it in October. So this is one of my new starts. And this is called Something Wicked by La-Di Da. It says, by the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. So I found a piece of fabric that was a lot like this one. And I picked it up, and this one is called Eek. It is I think this might be a 28 count linen in the color Eek by Picture This Plus. I don't think I need to have a piece of fabric behind it. Also, I find that if I'm in the window, it doesn't blow it out as much as when I put my heavy lighting on. It does a little bit. Like back here, you can see the orange in this fabric a little bit better. But I loved the fabric, and I said, I need to get this piece and go ahead and stitch on it. So let me bring it in closer. Oh, I think I do see a little, what's reflecting? Oh, the light from my TV that's bouncing off the window into my TV screen behind me. Let me go ahead and put it behind a board behind it and bringing it in closer. There you go. Now you can see it. Now the lettering called for a different color. Everything's with the DMCs, the black for the boot and the green colors. Those are the DMC colors that the chart called for. But the lettering, I wanted to be a little bit different. And I pulled out of my stash this Cottage Garden thread called Tool Shed by Cottage Garden Threads. And I loved the variegation in it. So it's a very variegated gray that leans to the purple side, but it is a gray color. So that's what I used for my lettering. So now before next Halloween, we're about a week from Halloween, 6 days from today. So I'm not going to get this one fully finished, but I do plan on trying to get this one finished for next Halloween. And then I put my, and sometimes it's hard to, I put my initials and 2024 down in here. I like to, I'm trying to remember to sign and date, initial and date my pieces. Let me throw this over on the table behind me, my desk. Usually I'm filming, I'm sitting at my desk. This is my desk right here. And I'm facing that way and this window is behind me. So, but I wanted to try the natural light from the window if I could. So I've got a folding table here and I'm using that. So the next new start, oh, I gotta sneeze. I told you I had a cold. I am so sorry for that. I'm still not quite 100%. The next new start that I have is Elizabeth Furness, 1836. Yes, 1836. And this one is by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. A lot of people were stitching on this. A lot of people have finished this. I know Olivia Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. I want to say Chrissy Crosshatch Quilts. I think they say their friend Yvette Go. She's on Yvette Gonzalez on Instagram. She's Yvette Go on Instagram. And a couple other people. They were stitching this together. And I'm just stitching, and Heidi with Stitching Faye off of Flosstube. She has finished this piece also. And while they kept stitching on this, I kept thinking, it's really pretty, but do I need another big sampler? And you know what? This is not going to be the only big sampler you see in my lineup. But I said, you know what? Why not? I keep looking at it, keep loving it. So I decided to go ahead and get it and get started stitching it. Because I love all these little animals down here in the grass. I love this grass. And the border's pretty. I mean, it's a beautiful piece. I am stitching this one on a piece of 32 count light mocha Belfast linen. And let's see if I don't need. And I've still got this one on the Q-snap because I was stitching on it the other day. Even though I started it a while back, I picked it up and I was stitching a little bit more on it. So I started in the lower left-hand corner and got this far on it. And I'll bring it in close where you can see. Not a whole lot of stitches. Well, actually, there's more there than you think because it's pretty solid stitching. All of that grass and the animals, that is going to be complete solid stitching. And then there's a huge house. So there's a lot of stitching in this piece. So I don't know how many thousands of stitches are already in there. 2,000, 3,000? I don't know. And let me pull it back so you can see. So, this here, I just use crafting felt when I have a single layer of my fabric, my linen, in my Q-snap, just to make sure it's holding it tight, because I like it drum tight. I don't know if you can hear that, because linen's not quite as a solid a fabric. But then I put a piece of crafting felt or wool on here. And when I double up my fabric, I don't need to. And that's how I corral for a big piece like this. As you can see, this is doubled over because she's going to be a lot taller, this piece. But when I only have a little bit of the fabric, like I didn't double this one over, I have felt underneath here just to hold it tighter under the clamps. And I do it a lot of times too when I get to where the clamp might be going over my stitching. Sometimes I'll put the felt there, a little piece of felt, and it just kind of keeps this edge of this Q-snap, this clamp, from clamping right up against my stitches. But I haven't seen any problem with my stitches using hoops and Q-snaps. So but there you go. There's my Elizabeth Furness. Love this one. This is a fun stitch. Fun, 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 fun. I have a whole precarious stack, 2 stacks of things. So I'm going to be throwing my stuff down on the floor. And the next one is another good size. Not quite as much stitches in it as Elizabeth Furness, but it's another Hands Across the Sea sampler. And this one is Anne Tong Ufendel, 1835. I love both Isabel, I think it is, her sister Isabel Ufendel, and Anne, but I chose Anne to start with. So it's a beautiful piece. And this one's a fun stitch. I've only started in the border, but I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. This one, I'm not sure what it is. This is a Lugana, so I'm thinking it's a 32 count Lugana, and it looks like it might be platinum Lugana. And this is how far I am on this one. Both Elizabeth Furness and this one, I am using the DMC conversion that came with the chart. they give you options for silks and DMC. So I am using the DMC convert option. And I think this is the, yeah, this is a little bit of the 1/1 stitching. Otherwise, I'm stitching 2/2 on here. But that's a little tiny bit of the 1/1 that I started. And I'll bring this in closer so you can get a better look at how beautiful this project is. I'm loving these flowers. So, and then farther out. So this is only, I don't think I'm not quite halfway across the top. I think the halfway is about where the fold is. And that's how big this project is going to be. She is a lot of fun to stitch on also. So I'm stitching Elizabeth Furness also 2/2, and I think there's 1/1 lettering in Elizabeth Furness. But I think that's all. I don't think she has a lot of 1/1. I don't believe. This next piece that I started is from Heartstring Samplery. And I showed this one. Did I show this one? Oh, I did do a video. I did a video 50, where some of these you will have seen probably. So the first 6 or 7 I'm going to show you, I did show in my previous video because I did work on them some more since. Well, no, I've done a video since I showed my 31 new starts, and then I started these after video 49. So at video 50, you'll see a few of these that I did already start and show you. This one is Heartstring Samplery. I Heard the Bells. Is that what it's called? No, it's called Christmas Bells Sampler. Sorry. Read the chart, Vicki. This one I am stitching 2/2. I'm stitching it on, it looks like a Lugana. It looks like an ivory. And I did pick my own colors. That's right. I showed you in the previous video that I picked my own colors for this one. I already went over all of they're all Victorian motto. And I already went over which ones I picked, because I just needed 2 greens, 2 blues, and 2 reds. So I just went in my stash and I picked some myself instead of getting, going shopping and getting the called for, since I have a decent stash in my closet right here. It's where I store all my threads. And let me fold this in half. Maybe that'll help. I did not work on this anymore since I showed it to you in the last video. I have I Heard and some of the border. But look at, isn't that beautiful? Shelly from Welcome Stitchery has finished this one recently. I think she showed it in her last video, framed even. In their last video. Love it. So I thought, I like that song, and it'll be a pretty, and a different kind of Christmas thing to have out than Santa Clauses and stuff. I have a lot of Santa Claus and stuff for Christmas decorations, but sometimes I like to mix it up and put in something a little bit different. This next piece is a Prairie Schooler. This is called Thanksgiving Comes Again. Oops, and I'm doing the big sampler one. So, and I think I just started up here in that little corner area and got a little bit of the words in. And I believe I showed this one in the last video and did not stitch anymore since then, since my July video. But this is a new start since the 31. I'm just trying to recap, do the whole last 31 rest of my stitches. This one is 2/2 on a piece of linen. I think this was just a scrap piece that I received from a lady's craft stash that passed away in our group, in the Ocean City group. We had a lady that passed away, and we were gifted a bunch of her things that she had because she didn't have anybody in her family that stitched. So she left it to all her stitchy friends. So I'm not even sure what the count is. I'm thinking a 28. Sorry about my throat, people. I know I always have an issue, but I am getting over this cold. Let me try to take a drink. At least I still have a voice. A lot of the linens I picked up from her were 28 count. Some were 32. But this is a beautiful, beautiful piece of linen. I'm just not really sure. And I'm stitching this one 2/2. Most of the time, I say 97% of my projects are 2/2. This next piece, I don't think I showed this in the last video. We might be getting now to the ones that I started after video 50. This one is a new, The New World by Plum Street Samplers. Looks like this. Love all of the elements in this one. But I really love this sailing ship, and so I really wanted to get going on that one. Let me see if I can find out what fabric I'm stitching this one on. I think this was Dead Sea Scroll by Seraphim Fabrics that I bought from Garon Stitchery a while back. And I had it in my stash, and I thought this is a perfect piece for this one. So I am using the called for threads, and I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count Dead Sea Scroll by Seraphim Fabrics. And that's how far I am. And this one is still in the Q-snap because I was hoping to get some more stitching on it. And I still have my little needle minder. I was given, I received that one at StitchCon from Crafty Kara. She made a bunch of her own needle minders. Still have a needle on here and everything. Just waiting to stitch on this some more. But look at this beautiful fabric. I just love the mottling in it. I love soft modeling. I don't like, don't generally gravitate to the really heavy modeling and things. I just love it to kind of add just a little bit of interest to it, but not overtake my stitching, if that makes any sense. So that is a new start. Oh, and this was a gift. This bag was a gift from a viewer. And this is from Sue, one of the, and I don't want to say her last name. I'm just going to say Sue. And she wanted to make me a crafting bag. So isn't this beautiful? So I'm using it for my New World sampler. Told her, she gave me some fabric. She messaged me, sent me a bunch of pictures of a few fabrics that she had to make project bags out of. And she asked me which one I would like a project bag from. And I said, well, I love coffee. I said, they're all beautiful, but I love coffee. So the coffee one would be my pick. So she made me a bag from it. So thank you so much, Sue. It is beautiful. And I am using it to hold my New World sampler from Plum Street. The next new start, oh, this, no, I might have showed that one last time too, because I know I showed you guys this one in July, because I remember I was having fits with this one. I love with a needle and thread patterns. I love Brenda Gervais stuff. But the colors, and I'm thinking it's not her fault. I think it's the colors that I have in my stash or I purchased. The color, the dye lots probably changed a little bit. But this one is Summer and Cherry Hill. And I was having a problem because all of my colors, well, not all of them, but 3/4 of them were just gold, 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 gold. So I'll show you my threads because I purchased all of the called for. But look at all these golds right here. So everything I was stitching was just a gold and a gold. And some of it was where there were 2 golds in the same little area. And it looked like I was stitching with the exact same piece of thread. There was no reason to switch threads. So I'm going to take this gray one out of here. There's a couple of, like there's kind of a pinkishy one here, an orangey red, a cream color, this gray color, and a green. But all of these golds, I was stitching with all of those, and a gold brown and a gold. And I'm stitching these on, what am I stitching this one with? Did I keep I am stitching it with a piece of 32 count sand linen I purchased by Picture This Plus that I purchased at Salty Yarns. I can tell by their tag that they put on it. Let's see if I can show you. And I started frogging out and picking different colors. Like the 2 colors that were called for this bird right here to differentiate his wing from his body looked exactly the same once I stitched them. So I switched one of the colors. I think it might have been his wing. So I didn't get very far because I'm thinking I'm going to have to switch a lot of those gold colors to something a little bit different. So like I said, this is sand. I would have loved to have gotten farther on this one because I love this piece. But I think I'm going to play around with thread colors there a little bit. Because I just didn't want it to be all bland and all just gold with little hints of red or green through it. So, I don't know. It's just gold, 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 gold. It was too much. And I thought, well, that's going to be very monochromatic and kind of boring. These kind of like dirty, grungy, antique-y gold colors all mixed together with the gold brown and the gold. And so, I'm going to do something with that one. Now, this next one is, I may have showed this one too in July. But I did work a little bit more on it, and it's by Teresa Kogut. I am, oh, and that one's stitched 2 over 2. Like I said, unless I say, I stitch 2 over 2 usually on most of my stuff. This one is Beauty Fades by Teresa Kogut. It looks like this. Let me try to angle it so you don't see the glare too much. Love this piece. The middle of it says, I gotta get my glasses on to read it. Youth is but a fleeting... Youth is fleeting and beauty fades, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. I was reading it across, and it actually goes down this side and down that side. So, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. It's kind of a glossy book, so there's going to be a little bit of glare. So I started in the middle, and I wanted to start on this lady. And, oh, I bumped you guys. Sorry. I'm a mess. Ugh. This looks like it's on a even weave. Looks like it is on a Lugana 32 count. This looks like taupe to me. I'm not sure, but that's what it looks like. So I went in and I gridded in the whole background. Oh, sorry. There's a whole... I was in the middle of stitching on her and switched to something else. And so I took the threads I had loose off of the floss drops and I just stuffed it in there. So because there's 2 colors of thread in her dress that makes the stripe look. So I went and gridded it all in, and then I started in that middle section, basically. And I came in a while later and I worked some more. I got her the Bible in that she's holding and some more of her skirt and some of the green grass. So that's where I am on Beauty Fades. This one I had seen somebody who did a little bit of a conversion on it was Lisa, Kindred Stitcher. She stitched this one, but she changed it up a bit. She changed the color of the roses at the top. She didn't want yellow roses necessarily up there. And she took off... I might have just been this bottom portion because she took off a band off of here. Not sure which one. I don't remember if she took this one or this one. She did stitch the middle portion, and I know she stitched the flowers because she converted the color. Let me go ahead and tuck these threads back in here. So when I start stitching on her, put that nest of threads back where I left them. Because the beauty of having these things started is then you can just pick them up and just, oh, I'm going to stitch on that one for a little while. And you can just pick it up and stitch on it. So I already even have threads just sitting there waiting to be stitched into her dress. So I don't know how many new starts. I don't know if anybody's counting. I made a list the other day because I needed to, because I kept getting confused. I was writing down my new starts, but then every time I counted, I seemed like I came up with a different count. So then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to write them all on a list. So I did, and I put them in this book. So like this one is Something Wicked, and I marked it up because I already finished Something Wicked. But I went through and I listed every new start that I started this year. So I started on this page here, and, you know, so I know that I have 62 because I've written down all 62. And these are a few restarts. I kind of was going, you know, back and forth with myself. Do I count any restarts as a new start? Do I count little ornaments? Because I did between, that I'm going to show you in a next video, I did start a Christmas ornament, start and finish it. So I do have another finish, but I'm going to show it to you in the next video because I'm not going to count it as one of my new starts. I've decided if it's small, like a 50 by 50 or whatever, if it's under 100 stitches by 100 stitches, I'm not going to count it as a new start. I said, I really don't want to kind of cheat to say, I don't want to count restarts. I don't want to count, I kind of was going to count the restarts, and then I thought, no. And that's where I think I was getting confused on my counting. So I had to write down exactly every single thing that I started and not just, oh, I need to take this one out of Q-Snap because I like to show you guys everything that I've stitched on a piece. Now, actually, you're not going to miss much because I do still have a needle. Well, I'll pull the needle out. Hold on a minute. I'm going to figure out what I'm doing figure out what I'm doing with myself. I'm taking put that needle and needle minder to the side. There's going to be a dangly thread on this one, so and you know what? I'm probably making a lot of noise on this table too. I forgot that I think the last time I used a table like this, I wanted to I could put a towel down or something, a cover, so that I wouldn't be banging against just a, one of those plastic folding table kind of things. Anyways, this one is a Quaker Dwelling by Kathy Barrick. And a while back, I had seen Kia B with Kia B's quilting stitch on this piece. I saw a start, and I mean a while back, at least a year ago. And I loved it when I saw hers. Bought it, had it in my stash, and then finally decided to start it. But I tell you what, there's a lot of bricks and things in this house. A lot. So I'm stitching this one on a piece of Lugana. It looks like 32 count Lugana. This one looks like a taupe also, like Beauty Fades. And again, 2/2. And I think I picked out, yes, I switched up my thread colors, I believe. Let me look. These threads, there's not a lot of colors, so I put them on one of these cards that I bought off of Amazon. I bought a whole pack of these so that I could just use them when I had things that just use DMC and maybe, no more than 14 colors, and sometimes use this. These are the colors that I'm using in my a Quaker Dwelling. And I can't, let me look and see if I switched up those blue colors, or did I change my mind and go and use the called for. It might be the called for. But I think I switched out a couple, made them a little bluer. Yeah, because they're more like sea greens and stuff, 501s, 502s. Well, I have 501, 502. Maybe they are the called for. Maybe I just switched, I might have switched this one blue. Not sure. I'd have to study it, and then I'd be wasting a lot of time. So those are my colors. And I'm stitching 2/2 on this Lugana. And let me see if I can get the dangly thread out of the way. And this is where I am on a Quaker Dwelling. So I got the first Quaker motif up in the upper left-hand corner, done. Came down, I think I counted down and started on the roof. Started working on that. And that roof is like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different colors of the golds. And then counted down and started doing some of the brickwork. And I think that's a window. Where's my picture? Where's my picture? I think it is. As you can see, I think I started on a window up there because there's a long way to go before I get down to a door. So that's where I am on this one. Loving it. It's fun. This is one, when I want to do some brickwork or do some Quakers, just pick it up, do a motif, or work in the roof some more, whatever I want to do. I can now just pick it up and whatever I'm feeling, straight thread, I can do. Like I said, I can count off of this motif, this Quaker motif, do the next one next to it. I can work on the roof some more. I can work on some brick, some blue brick. I don't feel like doing red brick because I've got some brick houses in some of my samplers. But I love this piece. It's so fun to stitch on. And I know, like I said, Kia Bees, she wasn't even finished. And I was like, oh, that is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So I needed to start this one. Throw everything back in its bag. Got one more on this stack, and then I've got a whole huge stack sitting in a chair next to me. Let me do something with all of this. Sorry if I'm making noise here, clanging around a Q-snap, all these plastic clamps. Try to be as quiet as I can. But I need to get them out of my way so I don't keep knocking into them and making noise every time I turn around. There we go. So the next one, or actually there's two in this bag. This is, I know this is one of my reproduction sampler bags. So I have two in here right now. So the first one I'm going to show you out of this bag is Mary Clayton from Hands Across the Sea. And it looks like this. I had seen Lori Schickalone from Once Upon a Stitch had finished this one. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. It looks like this is their thread chart that they give you. And like I said, they usually give you silk options and a DMC. So they have Swatage, DMC, and MPI silks. Looks like I'm switching out the DMC 680 for avocado. For some reason. I don't know why. Otherwise, this one is stitched on. I don't know if I have a note in here what this is. It is an overdyed Lugana, like those taupe ones and stuff. That's just a straight up not overdyed fabric. But this one is on a piece of, this was a leftover piece from something. Oh well, I'm not sure. It's got a little bit of a tiny bit of a pinkish hue. I don't know if that's picking up, but I did get all the way around the border. My border met up and started on the groundwork near the house. So I got the tree, the fence, got one of the little dogs, except for his little ear stitched in, because that's 3 different stitches in a different color, so I didn't do it yet. So that's where I am on this one, on Mary Clayton. It says Mary Clayton, an English schoolgirl sampler from Hands Across the Sea. I think this is one of the Hands Across the Seas that does not have any kind of specialty stitches, not even 1/1. I'm pretty sure. So if you wanted to, for any of my Ada stitchers or people who just don't like to do 1/1, they don't like to do specialty stitches of any kind, they just want straight up stitching. I'm watching a spider crawl on my windows. It's on the outside. He's out there. It's that time of the year. I've got spider webs everywhere outside. Let's see. But it's October. I don't think, if I'm almost positive there's not. Oh, wait a minute. She does have a kind of a guide for, you know, where she'll show you specialty stitches, how to do them. It says the original sampler was executed in wool with the exception of a couple of the colors. She reproduced this one using the mellowed colors that are found in the front of the sampler. Through the years, the samplers fade, and usually if you take it out of its frame, the back side will show you the original colors of the thread that weren't affected by sunlight. I don't know. I don't think there are any specialty stitches in here, though. I really don't. So anyways, I might want to double check on it and not take my word for it. So I wouldn't want you to be upset if there were, but I'm thinking there are not. Anyways, that was one of my new starts. Like I said, I can't remember the fabric color, but this has a slight dusty pink color to it. with a little bit of light modeling. I want to say it reminds me of, I wonder if I cut it off of the one I did for Merrily, Merrily We Welcome Spring by Blackbird that I started a while back. And it was, gosh, what was the name of that color? Because it was very similar to this. Like if I hold it against my white paper, see how it's kind of a dusky rose color? That's what I picked for this one. The next one in this bag that was another new start is Amy Can 1831 by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. And every time I'm watching Narissa from Narissa's Stitching Life, she has this one on her wall behind her. Finished, framed, hanging on her wall. This one, she also has Anne Uffendale and she has Elizabeth Weston, which are, I showed you Anne Uffendale that I started, and Elizabeth Weston I started a couple of years ago. So, all lined up in a row behind her, and I just, my eyes when I'm, you know, she shows something really pretty and nice that she's stitching on, and then when she's putting that away or whatever, I look at her wall again, my eyes just keep getting straying to her beautiful things on her wall behind her. And instead you guys get to look at nothing, so sorry about that. I'm not sure this fabric. Oh, this is gorgeous too. But this is Amy Can. Oh, I think this is Those Missing Stitches off of Etsy. It's a 32 count Lugana and it's an overdyed. She has some gorgeous fabric, I am telling you. And this is a piece. This might be Darling David by Those Missing Stitches. That's how far I got on this one. It's a lower left-hand corner start. Let me bring it in closer. So that's where I am on Amy Can. Such a pretty piece. Such a beautiful piece. And this, what draws me to this one is just this whole mound of grass with all those flowers and things in it. And I mean, I even think this is pretty down here. The border's beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful piece. Oops, got my fingers in the way. Beautiful. Love it. So I got to start on this one. So that was another new start. And I'm stitching 2/2s, 32 count. This one's, both of these are on a Lugana. I stitch on Ada, Lugana, linen, you know, mostly not. I do have a couple of pieces like Andale that I showed you in a previous new start, one of my first 31 new starts. That's on a 40 count linen. And another new start that I showed you that was in my first 31 new starts is Autumn at Hawk Run. That's on a 40 count. And when I do 40 count, I do with one thread, 1/2. So now I'm on my next stash of things. Now this one here is another Hands Across the Sea sampler. I think we must be in the pieces I started in Sampler September. A lot of these. And I started some other things besides samplers, but this piece here, I had a lady that is a friend of my channel that contacted me and asked, I don't know if you remember, but I originally started Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers with a purple thread on I think it was like an off-white, like an antique white Ada. And the more I stitched, like probably about 2 pages worth of the Long Dog on there. And I thought, you know, I don't think I want to do this in purple. And I had another, I had a Silks for You from, she's an Australian silk dyer, Silks for You, in a beautiful variegated color that I thought, I think I'd rather do my Pandemic with that. So I picked different thread and different fabric and restarted it. Well, I had put the purple one aside. Well, she had contacted me and said, can I, if you don't mind, could I please have, if you're not going to finish it and you don't mind giving it away, can I have your Pandemic that you started in the purple? I love it in the purple. And I said, she said, I'll buy it from you and all that. And I said, no. You know, you don't need to pay me for it. I'll just send it to you. That's fine. Because it's sitting in my whip basket and it's not getting stitched on because I'm stitching on it in a different version. And so I sent her the threads and all that. And she so sweetly, which was not, very much appreciated, but not necessary. Her name is Karen. I'm not going to say her last name, but she sent me a gift card for 123 Stitch. So I told her, she said, as a thank you for sending her that, you know, I didn't send her the pattern because I'm still doing the pattern. She knew that. She knew that she was going to have to get her own pattern for it, but she wanted my stitching progress, and I sent her the threads that I had for it. And so she sent me a gift card to 123 Stitch, and I was like flabbergasted. So I told her I needed to buy something super special with it, and so this is what I bought with it. So Karen, this is what I bought if you're watching. I bought Mary Hillier, 1867. She's a Bristol orphanage sampler piece by this little girl, this Mary Hillier. And I thought, you know what? I don't have any Bristol samplers, and I'd like to have one. And I am stitching with red. Oh, gosh, I bumped you guys again. Knock you guys out the window. I picked a, is this an Averosois? I think, was it the called for? I don't know. Let me look. I picked the silks, a red silk for this one. I got a few skeins of 2922 by Soie. So I picked up a few of these. I picked up the chart, and I picked up this piece of linen. This is 36 count antique ivory linen. And I started stitching this one. Isn't she beautiful? Like, I only have 2 letters, but that red on this is going to look really nice. Really beautiful. So I thank you so much, Karen. Like I said, that was just so sweet of you to do. I mean, that pandemic was just sitting there crying in its whip basket because nobody was loving on it anymore. So I'm hoping I found a good home for it. I'm glad that you're going to enjoy it and that you get to finish it, because it's sad that when a piece doesn't get finished. It's like, save the stitches, you know. I'm still living, but save the stitches. You know, this lady's crazy. She started it all over again. And the purple's pretty, but I was just like, you know what? Where am I going to hang it? I have nowhere that I have really purple in the house so much. And I thought a big piece like this I want out, like in my living room or something. And my living room is not purple. So I thought, that's what I'm going to have to do with it, is restart it. So that's what I did. Anyways. Beautiful. Mary Hillier. That was another new start. Another new start by Prairie Schooler. Hoping that I'm not making too much racket here. It is all buttoned up by Prairie Schooler. And another thing I decided I wanted to start doing, I even started doing it with my regular decorations. Of course, Hobby Lobby right now has already been having their Christmas stuff 50% off. Well, also in their Christmas things, not all Christmas decorations scream Christmas. They can be winter. And I'm trying to collect things that aren't always necessarily Christmas, and I want to stitch some things that aren't necessarily just Christmas, but more winter, so that after I take the Christmas decorations down, my house usually looks so sad and plain and until spring or summer when I start putting out some other stuff. So I wanted to start stitching some things that I love and I have that are just winter themed. This one's not Christmas, it's winter. So I started this one, and I'm stitching this one on a Lugana, 32 count Lugana. This might be another, and I think this might be an inherited piece or just a leftover piece or whatever. So I finished one of the little squares and I got another one started. But I got the little guy doing snow angels. Look at him. So I got the little snow angel guy, and then above him is a little guy skating on ice. So that's part of the ice that the little boy or girl is skating on, the little kid. So I got a little bit of the ice up in that middle top one, and I finished the middle block. I did a middle start, and then I figured I could just move around and stitch on whichever. So isn't he just cute? So that's going to be a cute little winter piece for me to have out in the winter time when I get it finished. I think there's like, I know of one other one that I was just working on recently that's a straight up winter stitch, not Christmas, because I'm trying to do that. So now we're going to shift over to, for a minute, to some fall stitching, because, you know, I was feeling the winter, I was feeling the fall, I was feeling the Halloween, I was doing all the things. So this one, I have two that I started out of this one. This one is Hello Autumn by Teresa Kogut. This is her book. Has, I don't know, maybe about a dozen, 10 or 12 patterns in here that are just all fall related. And the first one that I'm working on out of here is Folksy Thomas. This is another one that I think Olivia Pumpkin Hollow Quilts has finished. I think Tara Sullivan, Sully Stitches, has finished this one. I don't know, there's a handful of ladies. And I just think he is the funkiest little turkey. He is so cute. He is so cute. So I'm doing this one on a piece of 32 count Lugana in the color Exceptional by Fortnite Fabrics. This is a piece that had been laying in my stash. It was a leftover piece because you can't get their fabrics usually. No, I'll take that back. I bought this at Salty Yarns. I was shocked that she still had some, because Fortnite is not dying anymore. So, but that's where I am. Look at him. I have to do his big old wing. But I got his tail feathers in. I got his whole head, his little skinny neck, his long little legs. He's running from probably the guy that's coming and want to chop his head off and make him turkey dinner. Isn't he cute? And I got one of the flowers in. So he's adorable. 2 over 2 on 32 count. So cute, cute, cute. So I got the one flower in and I got most of him. I still need to do this part of his wing, that gold part there. And of course, all of the rest of that stuff around him. And then the other one I'm working out of in here, let me find it. Is Harvest Scarecrow. And it looks like this. I love, love, love it. I don't think I'm going to do the word harvest under here because I think I figured it out. It would fit in a standard frame if I left that out. Stitching it with 32 count overdyed, another overdyed linen. Well, this is a linen. This one here is an even weave, an overdyed even weave by Fortnite. And this one is a linen, but I'm not sure. Folksy Thomas is on 32 count Lugana in the color Exceptional. What did I do with the, I may not have. This one is a linen. I think, oh, this is the other piece of Winter Woolens by Seraphim that I had left over from something else. That's why I don't have the, and I have a dangly thread because, oh, and I had a needle, which I just knocked on the floor. But I got one of the sunflowers in and I started on the Scarecrow. So I got his one arm, worked his way up his arm to his head. So it's hard to see those stitches, but there's some off-white stitching in his head, and I was starting his hat. He has a black hat. Yeah, you can't see, and in person you can see it better than you can there, but there's his stitches for his head. I think maybe once I put his face in and stuff, you'll see him better. I have to remember I have a needle at my feet somewhere. I don't want my dog to step on, one of my dogs to step on the needle. So that was Harvest Scarecrow by Teresa Kogut out of her Hello Autumn book. So I got those two going. Added this book. There's several more designs in this book. Like even the cover one. I was on the fence about, do I want to start that one or start the Scarecrow? And then I decided I want to start the Scarecrow, and I will save that other one for another time. So this next piece is by Hello from Liz Matthews. So it's a sampler, but I don't think this one's a reproduction. Ugh, I put all my threads in the bag, so they're blocking that. Let me take this out of the bag. It's called Forest Sampler, and it's by Liz Matthews. Let's take it out. It looks like this. And this is a lovely piece. Because I am stitching it on, not sure what linen that is. It's a linen, 32 count linen, but oh, here we go. It is 32 count light sand Belfast linen. And this is how far I am. Oh, I am sorry, people. I have a dog that's, she's on medication right now with prednisone, a steroid that makes her need to pee a lot because she drinks a lot, and she is barking at the door. My husband's working in his office upstairs. Let me run and open the door for the dog really super quick. Sorry. Sorry. I'm back. Sorry. Oh my goodness. And I don't edit. I'm sorry. That's going to add on time, and you guys are probably sitting there twiddling your thumbs. Hopefully you got some good stitching in your hands to do while you're waiting on me. And you can probably hear the one barking because one of my neighbors got a new puppy, and so she likes to talk to that puppy every day. Anyways, here's where I am with, I can see both of them in the yard. I'm going to have to get up and let them back in too. I can't leave them out there because then they start eating grass and getting into trouble. And when they eat a bunch of grass, then they get sick. You know, it's a whole thing. But this is where I am. Isn't that beautiful? Look how pretty this piece is. I love it. Love the colors and everything. You can see them out there. It's just the one dog, when she's on prednisone, she drinks a lot of water. And they're little dogs, so she has a little bladder. Next thing I know, she's needing to pee. And she, the last time we had her on prednisone, we didn't realize that. And we're used to not having to let her out like every hour or two. But now they're both just barking at the puppy 2 doors down. But if I don't, you know, she started peeing in the house, and I was like, what in the world is going on? And then I was like, well, she doesn't do that. And I thought, we've let her out, but not more often. Now it's like we have to make sure if she says she needs to go, I have to let her out because she's going to pee in the house. So right now they're behaving themselves. So okay, this next piece is Sarah Elizabeth Brooks, 1842. It's another reproduction sampler. This one's by the Scarlet House. And somebody I know that has finished this, framed it, and hung it on her wall is Amy from Amy Loves Toads. Amy lives here in Virginia. So that is being stitched on, okay, I wrote a tag here. 28 count Sand Lugana by Picture This Plus. And I am using all the called for Classic Color Works. Is that the only well, but it's Belsoise. Oh, okay. She has she has Belsoise silks, DMC, or the regular Classic Color Works that are not Belsoise. Because I was like, wait a minute, I don't have the silks. So I'm doing the Classic Color Work conversion on this Sand by Picture This Plus. Okay, they shut up and I don't see them anymore. Uh-oh. It's like little kids. It's like, you know, when your kids get quiet, then you go, what are they up to? Because the two of them together are trouble. Sometimes I just saw them walk across the patio. Oh my. Here is where I am. I am loving this piece. Now, if you love just some fill-in block stitching, that bottom part down there, that's all that is. 3 different colors of threads. And you can see the green is more variegated than the 2 gold colors. You can see a little bit more of that green in the grass. But I wanted to work on some of the brick. I got some of the house. So this is where I am on Sarah Elizabeth Brooks by the Scarlet House. 2/2. 2/2. Right now, this one doesn't have a beautiful project bag, does it? Oh, I think I have it sharing a bag with something. Some other reproduction samplers, but right in it's all of, I put all of its pieces just in a plastic bag. I don't feel like trying to stuff that all back in the bag. I'm just going to set it to the side together so I don't get all confused. I don't know. My husband, he's working from home today. He's up in his upstairs office. And when he's up there, he's on telecons and meetings, you know, telephone meetings. And he can't, he probably won't. I'm more able to get up and go let them back in than he is. Right now, I don't know if you can hear them. They're still barking out there. Crazies. I love them. I love dogs. You have to be a dog person, just like you have to be a cat person, to put up with all the little idiosyncrasies from a dog or a cat. Like, my dogs don't shed, but, you know, like if you don't mind dog hair in your house or all that kind of stuff, then, you know, then you can have a dog. So this one now is by the Scarlet House also. This is Jane Charlotte Wynne, 1835. Looks like this. And I picked a piece of fabric. See how this fabric looks kind of yellow? So I picked a piece of fabric out of my stash that's kind of got the yellowy color to it. And I'm using 32 count Lugana in the color Golden Harvest by Atomic Ranch. And I am using the called for DMC. And there's not a lot of colors, so my DMCs are on one of these cards because there's not a whole lot of colors in this piece. So these are her colors. Kind of some blues, oranges. And like I said, this is Golden Harvest by Atomic Ranch. Atomic Ranch has some beautiful fabric also, which is the front and which is the back. Don't have a lot started on this one. This is another one I'd really love to be able to pick up and do some more on. So I just got some of the border, and it looks like I started coming in to work on something. What was I working on there? Oh, it's probably this bird's tail feather right here. That's all I got done. Working up in that corner. All right. Sorry, quick intermission. I will be right back. I have to go let these crazy dogs back in before they get into mayhem and mischief. Hold for 1 second. Sorry, people. When you have a sick dog, you have a sick dog. Come on, babies. All right, I'm back. I'm back. This is the little troublemaker right here. This is the one that is sick. That's why she's wearing a jacket, because she's not sick. She has something on the side of her. The vet said she'd treat it like a hot spot. We tried a whole round of prednisone and antibiotics on her, and it came back. So she won't stop licking the spot. So she's in a jacket to keep her spot covered. So this is one of the troublemakers. This is Maya. This is my older one. She's 12 now. And then her sister, come here, you. Come here. Molly, come here. Come here. Well, she ran off. And her partner in crime, Molly, come here, baby. See? Come here. Oh my God. I don't know what she thinks I'm going to do to her, but she says, no. You're not picking me up. I don't want to say hi to the people. Okay, the next one that I have, let's get back on track here, is this one's by Just Stitching Along. I've never stitched any of their pieces before. So this one is Miss Lucy Cowcut, 1825. There are two Lucy Cowcuts. This one is the 1825 version. I've seen some people working on this, but I can't think of who it is. And it was funny because I'm seeing people working on it. Oh, I think one of them is Narissa from Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle, or just Stitching Lifestyle on Instagram. I think she's working on this one also. But, and of course she'll finish it way before me. I'm stitching this one on a piece of Lugana. It says 32 count Lugana, but I'm not sure what color. It's kind of a peachy. I think this is another, Those Missing Stitches from Etsy, one of her dyed pieces. But I started in the corner, one of the bottom corners, the lower left corner. Look at this border. This is a fun stitch and it's beautiful. I'm finding that I must be partial because I'm loving Andale and this Lucy Calcutt, and Elizabeth Weston has a bunch of pink and greens in her too, I think. But I'm finding I'm really liking this color way. It's speaking to me. So that's how far I got on Lucy Calcutt, 1825. And it's a 32 count Lugana, 2/2, with the DMCs for that one. And the next piece is a Prairie Schooler. So then I went back to winter stitching again. And this one is the Woodland Santas, and I started on this one. Santa with the sleigh, horse-drawn sleigh. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Lugana in the color Gingerbread. And I think I'm going to have enough to do all 4 of those on this piece of fabric, because I'm working up in this top quadrant of this fabric here. And that's how far I got on this one. I am using the called for DMCs. And sorry, I have a dangly thread there. I was in the middle of doing that horse. And I think that was before I needed to leave for one of my retreats. And I didn't take this piece with me, so I pulled the needle out and just left it hanging, left the thread hanging, left it hanging, literally. Okay, the next new start is from another Teresa Kogut book. I had the Hello Autumn. This one is Hello Spring. So I started a piece in here, but not the cover piece, but I do want to start that one. But I said, no, I think I'm going to start this other one, because I was flipping through this and I was like, so many in here I really love. But I started Cherry Jubilee. So I started this one. And I love what it says. The bird who dares to fall is the bird who learns to fly. Let's see if I can get the glare off of it. So I love it. And a fun fact is my sister's last name, her married last name, is Cherry. So every time I see things with cherries on it, I always think, oh, Becky would like that. I'm stitching this one in a 32 count Lugana in the color Limestone. So this is not an over-dyed Lugana. It's just a plain Lugana in the color Limestone. It goes this way. And I got this far. So I got the whole top part of the border done, and I got a cluster of cherries in there. So that's where I am on this one. Love, love, loving it. Love, love, loving it. Limestone is kind of it's a greeny, greasy tan color, neutral, like limestone. We have what, one of our biggest caverns here in Virginia is Luray Caverns, and you can see a lot of limestones a lot of times in there. The stalactites and the stalagmites. Although I haven't been to Luray Caverns in ages. When my girls were in Scouts, I know we took the Scouts there. Okay. And my girls are late 30s now. So I have teenage grandchildren. Ah, time flies. This next one is by Brenda Gervais. My nose is itching. Hopefully I don't start sneezing. And it is called Coming to America. Let me take it out of its plastic. And the glares is going to be too bad. Coming to America by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. She did this as a celebration piece for the landing of at Plymouth Rock in Plymouth. The first 3 ships, the Mayflower, when the Mayflower came over. This is in 1620 because she put this piece out in 2020, which would have been a 400-year anniversary of it. And then she reprinted it. And I got it when it was a reprint. So I started this one, and it's on a linen. What linen is this one on? Do I have it in the... And I'm doing 2/2. And I am stitching it on... I did not write it down on this. Vicky. Why did you not write it down? Oh, well. It has to have a card because I think I picked this piece of linen up at Salty Yarns. Yes, and they write a card for me. This one is Paper Bark by Fox and Rabbit. 32 count linen. Paper Bark by Fox and Rabbit. And this is how far I am. I have all this doubled over because this is a nice big long piece. But that's where I am on Coming to America. So I was doing some border, you know, foundation kind of work. That way I can come in and I can put the ship in at the top, or I can work on the little pilgrim ladies down in the next section, you know, down below here. You know, I can fill in anywhere around in here now because I can count off and figure where I was. What was my plan? So sometimes getting these started, you get some of the foundation in. See, then I can come up here and I can work on the ship and the seagulls and things up here. I can come down here and work on these ladies with their cross stitch and their animals. Oh, the pigs and the chickens. Cute. So that's how far I am on Coming to America by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. Put all of that stuff back in its bag. The pile on the floor is getting bigger than the pile next to me. So, oh, that means we're getting somewhere. Okay. The next piece is, I'm not sure what's in, oh, okay, this one is Riley Harbor by, is it Carriage House or Kathy Barrick? I think this one I did a PDF download. So I don't have a color picture. Let me see. I don't want to show the chart, because these are all the chart. I think it's in here somewhere. Well. Oh, I did not. Oh, I'm so bad. I did not print the cover page, I don't think. I'm terrible. Shame on me. Anyways, it's Riley Harbor. And it's by, it's either Carriage House Samplings or Kathy Barrick Samplers. Anyways, it's a bunch of buildings. I'm doing this on a piece of Poetic Pony Boy by Those Missing Stitches from Etsy. Her fabric, I'm doing 2/2. I'm using the DMC colors because they have NPI or a DMC conversion. And actually I took this and I started it in when I was in Ocean City, and this was my evening in my hotel room stitching while I was just sitting watching TV, relaxing before bed. So I didn't get very far because I'd be stitching all day in the stitching room, and then I'd go up and maybe stitch for like half an hour or something. Then I'd get really sleepy and go to bed. So that's where I am. I wish I had the paper. I'm sorry I don't. I'm gonna have to go back where I purchased this off of. I think it's a Kathy Barrick piece because I think it was off of Kathy Barrick's Etsy stuff. Anyways, I need to go back and print off the cover page so that I can show you guys next time. I have to remember to do that. Maybe I need to set this one aside so I can remember to do that. It's a bunch of houses. And then there's a big whale in the water. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a bay, a Cape Cod kind of looking piece. I'll set that there. Maybe I'll remember to print that sheet off. Then I was back to fall again. And this one, oh, I know what inspired me on this one, because I had to buy this one when I went to Salty Yarns in September, because I was watching Lala D Stitches, Laura, and she had finished and framed this guy. And oh my gosh, was he handsome as could be. So I went and I got him. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings, and it's called Turkey Day. This one's not brand new. This one's been out for a while. It was her A Time for All Seasons series that she did. So this was her release, her 11th release. This was like for November. And that turkey though, oh my gosh, when Lala D finished hers, gorgeous. So I bought the chart, got the thread, and because I think it's oh, it's just DMCs. It's not any overdyes or anything. So it's DMC thread. No, there's 2 overdyes. I bought the 2 overdyed threads, and I got a piece of well, I must have got 2 pieces of Exceptional by Fortnite from them. This is a 32 count linen in the color Exceptional by Fortnite Fabrics. Maybe this is the one I purchased there. But look at him. I spent a lot of time working on him. He is a lot of work, but he's gorgeous. But I'm telling you what, I started him when I was at my retreat in Ocean City, and I decided, okay, I'm going to do this branch of leaves here, because I started up in the corner because I measured off my 3" by 3" border here. And then I stitched that down and counted over to his head, and I was working on his head. And I thought, man, I'm making some progress. This is wonderful. And then I was like, oh no, I messed up somewhere in the counting, somewhere in all of this, his head and neck. So I ripped out what I thought I messed up, restitched again, messed up again, ripped out. So, okay, well, then I'll start over here on his head. Started stitching it, messed up again. I must have did that 5 times just in this area of the turkey alone. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have to put him aside, because obviously I can't concentrate enough. Because if you look really close, these red stitches are mixed into the blue are mixed into the white. I don't know, there was a lot of counting going on here. And I kept messing him up. So I thought, that's it. He's going in timeout. Well, I wanted to let any of you ladies know, I know Pat watches my channel, and maybe Debbie, I finally got the turkey out of timeout, and I finally got some more work done on him. Oh my gosh, he was like giving me fits, and I thought, I need to be home in my stitchy chair where I can sit and count and work on him. So I did. I got his head finally done, and then I was able to come in and work on all of that beautiful pattern stitching that's going on in him. So I still have these other tail feathers coming out and some feathers down at the bottom. All of these feathers down here I still need to do, and all of these around here. Otherwise, all of this of him is done. And then I'll need to go in and do a lot of those leaves. But maybe he can be finished by next Thanksgiving. Maybe. Because he's not that big. I mean, look at my piece of material. It's not a very big piece. I think it's like 10 by 10 or something. Let me see. They write down on the piece of paper they cut for you. No, he's only like 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. He's not that big on this 32 count. 2 over 2. I always have people ask me, do you stitch with 2 threads or 1 thread? Because I know I always forget to say, and that's why I'm trying to make sure, you know, I say what count and what I'm stitching with. Oh, get in a bag. So that's my turkey day. That was another new start, and I just threw it on the floor. The next one is by Silver Creek Samplers. And it's a Halloween piece. So I was doing some fall. I finished that Something Wicked. And then this was another Halloween piece I started. Sorry for the crinkling, but I'm going to take it out of the plastic. And it's called Izzy Decayin'. So I told my husband, I said, I'm going to set this on your bar. Izzy Decayin' Booze and Spirits Casket Aged. Yes. I am stitching this on a piece of Murky. It looks like 16 count Aida Murky. So I cut a piece of this off of my big piece of Murky Aida that I have. And that's how far I got. So I got the word Izzy, started the D for Decayin'. I got the B and the O for Boo. I have that whole skeleton in. Love it. I wanted a piece of fabric that was dark enough that the white would pop. And then I made sure that this was my top part when I started it so that the skeleton would be more in where the darker dye is on this square of fabric. So I started, and it's 2 over 2 on the 16 count Aida. I started this S here, I got him, I got Izzy, I started the D, got the B and the O. I don't have the ghost in there yet. So I still need to do all of this down here and this bit. But I finished all of this right in here. Took a few evenings of stitching to work on that. So Izzy Decayin'. And this is how it's spelled if you're looking it up to purchase it. D-E-K-A-Y-E-N. Decayin'. Cuteness. This one has a bag. The next one I'm hoping to get some more stitching on soon because I was really disappointed I didn't get very far yet on it. But it is, I'm getting down to now, these are ones I've just recently started. So a lot of these aren't going to have a lot of progress yet because they're just, they're pretty much, most of them are good on Q-snaps and things right now because I'm still trying to work on them. Let me find the picture. This is out of the Winds of Autumn book by Blackbird, right? It's out of this book right here. The Winds of Autumn by Blackbird Designs. And I am stitching Mighty Acorn. A lot of people have stitched or are stitching this one. See if I can not have too much glare. I'm stitching this one on a piece of 16 count. That's not Aida. There's something else. Oh, no, no, no. There's something else in here. This is not Aida. This is Lugana. Looks like a 32 count Lugana. I'm not sure what color this is. This might be another piece of that Poetic Pony Boy from Those Missing Stitches. Anyways, I did a lower left hand corner start. Started on the border, got over to the acorn, and then started on the little squirrel who's running away with a little acorn in his mouth. So I'm using the called for overdyes. So all these weeks. Oh, is the fabric here? Oh no, this is 28 count Lugana and the color Wren by Picture This Plus. That's what this is. Wren by Picture This Plus. So I wrote it on my tag. And these are the colors, the Weeks Dye Works. I'm using the called for Weeks Dye Works on 28 count Wren by Picture This Plus. So it's still in a Q-snap because I'm planning on working on that soon. Soon-ish. And this next one is in the same boat. He didn't get very much done on him yet. crazy pile on the floor. This one is by Silver Creek Samplers, and this is another piece that's going to be, it could be more of a winter piece because it's not necessarily Christmas. It's a snowman on it and a little rabbit. And I'm going to take it out of the plastic so it doesn't glare. And it's called Give Greatly. Your greatness is not in what you have, but in what you give. I just thought that that's just so cute, and I love the saying. So cute. Give Greatly by Silver Creek Samplers. This one's being stitched on a piece of 32 count Lugana in the color of Stangly Threads here, because I didn't get very far and I wanted to work more on it. I was going to take it to the last retreat I was on in Brooknell, Virginia, and work on it, and I didn't get any chance to work on this one. But this one is a 32 count Lugana in the color Vintage Country Mocha. And all I did was get started on the snowman's hat. But that's why it has a dangly thread and a needle minder still in it. Because when I put the things away for a while, if they know they're going to be sitting and waiting their turn for a little while, I take the needle minders off and stuff. But if I'm going to stitch on it again, like I said, I left the needle minder and the thread hanging there because I thought, okay, I got my start. I can work on this one at my retreat, and I did not get a chance to get around to this one. So that is just barely a start. Just to say, this is where you're going to start your stitching. Oh man, let me put all those threads in there. And that I would have a jumping off point when I did start working on this one at the retreat, and then I didn't work on it at the retreat. So put that aside. Same with this one. This one is by Stacy Nash. I'm going to not take it out of the plastic and see if I can not have a lot of glare. There we go. This is the Spring Chicken Pin Keep. I just thought those chickens, I don't have anything with chickens in it, really. I don't have a chicken piece. And I like it. I think it's cute. So I wanted to stitch it. Now, Pin Keep is a misnomer. It is going to be like 8 by 8 or 10 by 10 on 32 count. So I think I could purchase the fabric for this at Salty Yarns when I was there. Yes, this one is 32 count chocolate milk by fabrics by Stephanie. Yeah, and it's going to be 11 by 11. 11 inches by 11 inches. That's not a pin keep. It's going to be a small framed piece. So I started it. I'm working 2 over 2 with the called for colors. I picked up all of the colors while I was at Salty Yarns for this one. I've kitted this one up. And I got this far. So that's it. Some of the border. So I can, you know, once you get the border started, you can really get rolling on a piece. I just counted 3 inches in, 3 inches down, and just started putting the border in. And I've got a needle up here in the corner I'm going to lose. And a needle minder, because I took this on my last retreat, and I was going to work some more on it, and I didn't get a chance to work on this one either. These were 2 pieces I took on my retreat. Yeah, these are the only 2 I took on the retreat. I was hoping to get some work on and didn't. Because I take like 6 or 7 things. You know, I have high hopes every time that I'm just going to roll through things, I guess. And because this retreat wasn't that long. This was like a, we get there on Thursday, but late Thursday afternoon. By the time you kind of set up, then they provide dinners, breakfast and dinner at this one. And, you know, it's a lady, you know, it's just a group of us that have been getting together for years and years. And this, there's 2 sisters headed up. And they get a caterer to come and cater breakfast and dinner. So when the caterer, I think we get there around 2, get set up, then it's time to eat. And then next thing you know, it's like bedtime. So Thursday is kind of not a lot of time, stitchy time. And then you have Friday and Saturday, and you got to pack up by after breakfast on Sunday and leave. So this next piece is another winter piece. This is one I saw stitched up at Salty Yarns last year when I was there in December. And it was gorgeous. I was sitting on one of the front tables. And it's called Winter Cove by the Bay Needle Arts. And see, I took it out of the plastic, but that's a photo, like a photo paper, glossy paper. So it's going to give shine. So I started at the bottom on this one. This one is really pretty stitched up though. Very pretty. This one I am stitching on a piece of Devoted Dobbin 32 count Lugana by Those Missing Stitches. Like I said, you can find her on Etsy. Love her fabric. I really do. She's out of California in the US. And she just does some beautiful fabric dyeing. In fact, I have a couple more pieces on order from her that I should be getting next week. Oh my gosh, I can't get it in there and I don't want to make you guys wait all day. So this is Devoted Dobbin, 32 count Lugana. And there's my start on this one. I got the bottom portion finished. So now I just got to do, you know, this big tree comes up with all these branches and snowflakes and things off of it. But this is it so far. Love it. Love, love, love it. So I was working on this one not that long ago, and I wanted to get that bottom section finished, and I had just finished doing that. So, oh yeah, and this next piece is another one that I got started and just really need to get some more work done on also. Like I said, these last few, some of them didn't get that much work at all because I just got going on them. This one is by Kathy Barrick, and this one is called Merry Christmas Wishes. I kitted this one up at Salty Yarns when I was there. I got the Gloriana Silks for this one, since there are only 2 colors. So I went ahead and got 2 skeins of this because I'm stitching 2 over 2. Am I stitching 2 over 2? I think I am. Because I think this is a 36 count. No, I'm stitching with 1 thread. I'm stitching 1 over 2. Because this is a 36 count Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit. So I got the fabric and the thread while I was at Salty Yarns to kit this one up. So I have the 2 called for colors of Gloriana Silks. And this is, what did I say this was? It's by Fox and Rabbit. What's the color? Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit. And this is all, oh, it goes this way. That's how far I am. That's it. So sad. So sad. Poor neglected pattern. I started it a couple of weeks ago. I need to pick it up, or maybe at least a week ago. But I did a middle center start, and I started right there on that one, the top. I think I'm not planning on putting that date in because that date doesn't mean anything to me. I might put in the year my husband and I were married, our first Christmas. Might put that in there instead. That's what I'm thinking. So that's it. Yeah, that's right. That's how far I am. See, when you don't have very much done, you got to think about which direction it goes. But it's a start. It's a start. Okay, and the very last one, I was actually stitching on this one last night. I haven't had any time to do any stitching today because I was setting up for this video. So this one is by Cottage Garden Samplings. This was on the freebie table at Ocean City. We have a giveaway table that we, if we have charts that we no longer want, or we've already stitched or whatever, or duplicates, we put them up on the table and anybody's free to take whatever. So I took a stack of mine and then I picked up a few. And this is one of them. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings. It's called Christmas Parade. And it's funny because I picked it up off the freebie table. Then the next day I went to go shopping at Salty Yarns. And they had this one on display on their wall. And it was so pretty. Even prettier than this looks like. So I said, okay, that's it. I have to start this one because, you know, why not? So I am stitching this one with the called for colors. And I'm doing it on a 32 count piece of Lugana by Bestitch Me in the color Morning Fog. And that's how far I am. I love this fabric for this. So I started on Santa Claus. And this is where I am on him. I just had that much done. But I just started it. was working on it last night. I think I worked on it the day before, and then last night I picked it up and I was working on it some more. So that's where I got to on this one. And so he starts the parade, and then all the little animals behind him and all the beautiful snowflakes and, oh, just all the beautiful stitching all around. It's going to look gorgeous. So that's how far I am on that one. And that is 31 more. That is my 62nd start for the year. So I have all 62 new starts started. And I'm planning on getting a lot more progress on some of them. And so that leads me into plans. Well, I use the word plans loosely. It's just kind of what I'm kind of thinking, maybe going towards, but I never said anything in stone because, like I said, it's my hobby. It's not a job. I don't want it to ever feel like a job. So my plan is, though, like I said, these are the 30, let me go back, rewind. In video, Flosstube video number 49, back in July, on July 7th, I posted a video that showed my first 31 new starts for the year. So what I had started through June. Now I've showed you from July to now, what until October, whatever, middle of October, what I've started the other 31. So now, if you watch that video and this video, you're going to be able to see all of my 62 new starts for the year, if you're interested. And what I'm going to do, my plan is, I looked at my progress that I keep. And I counted up how many things since August. When was my last video? August 7th? Yeah, my daughter's birthday. August 7th till now, what I've worked on that were not these projects. And I counted up 15 other things that I've worked on, whether they were working a little bit more on the new starts I had previously, or whether they were on whips that I had before this year. So I counted up 15, and I had one small finish. Something that, an ornament that I mentioned earlier that I started and finished this month. So I want to come back soon, because I didn't want to combine that with this one, because we're at an hour and a half, over an hour and a half already. And I didn't put a bunch of other stuff in. All I wanted to do was show you my 31 things. So for I had to take breaks to take dogs out. Oh gosh. But I want to do one shortly to go ahead and show you the other 15, plus whatever else I work on before then. If I work more on this Christmas parade, if I work more on Mighty Acorn, or whichever of these that, you know, a spring chicken, stuff that I said I don't have very much stitched on, but I want to still work on. So you might see those again. More progress on those. The 15 things I have worked on that aren't these, and anything else I pick up between now. And I'm hoping to come back no later than the beginning of November. I'm not planning it to be another couple of months. But with me, you never know. Like I said, you know, a Flosstuber said we shouldn't have to apologize. Because, you know, it's life and it's our channel, and, you know, I know that I have Flosstubers. All I can say is I have Flosstubers that I love, that only put up a video here and there. But I'm always excited when they do put up a video. I'm subscribed to them, and I've hit the notification bell so that when they do post a video, I know they posted a video, and I'm like, yay, I'm so happy, and I can go watch the next video of theirs. So that's what I do. So maybe that's what I recommend you guys doing for me, is just, if you know that I don't post on the regular, I don't post every single week or every other week, you know, I just post when I can, because this almost didn't happen today because I was still so sick yesterday. You know, I was like, well, there's no way that I'm going to feel like doing a video. And I'm still having a lot of my back issues and things like that. Like, I'm sitting on a heating pad in my chair. So, I don't know. I come back when I can, when I feel like I can, because sometimes I feel pressured. I know it's me pressuring myself, but I do get sometimes comments that people are like, well, why haven't you done a video in a while? I had a comment recently that said something to the effect of, and I deleted it. It said, well, she never comes back. She makes a bunch of excuses of why she doesn't post her videos and doesn't do a video for a long time, you know, like was complaining on my thing. And I thought, you know, it's not a job. It's my hobby, and I'll come back when I'm ready. I don't want to disappoint you guys. I don't want to, you know, and so sometimes that weighs heavy on my heart, and I don't want to disappoint, and I don't want to feel like, you know, most of you guys are understanding, and you say, you know, well, we're no pressure, but we're hoping to put a video up soon, and that's fine, and stuff. And I know, and I'll feel bad that it's like, well, it has been a while since I put one up, and I know the holidays are getting ready to start, and I got more travel coming up. Like I said, I've been on 2 retreats since I filmed in August. I was in one in September and one in October. Yeah, just a few, like 3 weeks apart from each other. So, and then I have my mom here, you know, and I've got my daughter that's a single mom and has 2 girls that I'm, you know, it's just, there's stuff. It's just stuff. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's me just not getting around to it, because I actually started this video process, getting set up for it this morning. And that's not the prep work of figuring out what were my 31 videos. I did that a few days ago for 31 videos, 31 new starts. When I wrote my list a couple of days ago so I could be straight and make sure what I had was correct and accurate. And it is now almost 3:30, and I started the process of this at 10 o'clock this morning. So I still have to upload it, download it. I don't do editing to my videos. I don't have the editing software. And I don't feel like taking the time to do that because it already takes me all day to do this. And then I still have to clean up and put away all of these 31 whips that I just showed you. I have a whole pile on the floor now that I got to go and sort through and put it back up here, or figure out the ones that I'm still stitching on and put them where I have a progress basket next to my chair of things that I'm stitching on. So I'm hoping to come back to you sooner than later with this next one, because I already have at least 15 things to show you already. And I don't want it to be a movie length video of, you know, 3-hour long epic series going on. So that's my plan. My plan is to come back sometime soon, and I want to do it before the holidays. So I'm hoping in the next week or 2 at the latest to get another video filmed. But I can't promise, because I can't promise that my back's going to completely go out on me, or I get sick again, or I don't know, my mom gets sick, or, you know, my husband, or you know, my dog's doing a lot better. But like I said, I had to watch her, and I knew she was going to need to probably go out. And I thought, oh gosh, I hope she can make it while I'm doing the video, but she didn't. And, you know, it's just things, it's just stuff. It's life. It's family. And I'm glad I have all my family. I'm glad my mom lives here. I'm glad I have my daughter, near here now. Before she was living in Stafford, you know, she was living an hour away from me. Now she lives just down the road, not too far. But she has 2 girls, a 15-year-old and a 6-year-old. No, a 16-year-old and a 6-year-old. No, 15. All my grandkids were boom, 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 boom for a while there. So yes, she's 15 and her younger sister's 6. So you know, she's got her hands full with that. We do what we can, you know, whatever. So there's just a whole lot going on, which I'm not complaining about. And in the evenings and things when I get a chance, because I tell you what, my back has been killing me forever. But I told my husband the other day, you know, because I'll try to get up and vacuum or whatever, and then my back starts really hurting, and I got to go sit down and get on a heating pad again or whatever. And I told him, I said, sounds like the only thing I can do is like sit and stitch. And he goes, yeah. Sounds like an excuse, but it's true. I can sit on a heating pad and stitch all day. Sitting in my chair does not hurt my back. Sleeping does not hurt my back. It's just something about leaning and bending and moving too much that starts hurting it. So, but I can sit and stitch. So that's the blessing of that. At least I can sit and stitch. So, I think that's it. I think I'm rambling. I think I'm going on. I just keep looking out my window and looking at all the beautiful fall colors that are going on. The trees outside look like this flower arrangement right here. Just the greens, the golds, the reds, the oranges, and oh, it's just beautiful out my window. So I wish I could flip this around while I'm recording and show you all the beautiful fall colors that are going on outside, but I can't. So, until next time, I really appreciate you guys. I really, really do. I love this hobby. I love the people that I've met through this hobby. I love the comments that you guys leave, that you, just the kindness and the sweetness that's out there. Because I have another, I didn't go over a piece of Happy Mail that I received from one of my wonderful viewers and friend on Instagram that gave to me. She messaged me and wanted to send me something. So, and it's not just that, it's the comments, it's the love, it's the support, it's the, it's just the whole thing. It's like, when you look at all of the craziness that's going on in our world, and like we're gearing up for elections really soon, and just the stuff that's going on, it's just, it is so refreshing and so heartwarming to know that there are so many sweet, sweet, sweet people out there that enjoy cross-stitch, knitting, quilting. I enjoy it all. I don't quilt really anymore. I mean, I've tried quilting before. Sewing in a sewing machine is really not my thing, but I love quilts. Love them. And so when I watch people do their, show their quilts, I eat that up. It's just so beautiful. Gosh. And knitting and crochet and all of the beautiful cross stitch. I love seeing it all. So I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your week, whenever you're seeing this video. And I'm planning on being here, back on here definitely before Thanksgiving. That's my plan. So, I'm sorry, there's a text from my mom. I don't know what she needs. She's asking me to send her something. I wish you guys all of the best, many blessings, and enjoy your next couple of weeks, next week, till I come back again. And I hope you guys will join me again. I hope you've liked what you've seen here. I hope you subscribe and like on this channel if you feel so inclined. And until next time, I wish you guys all of the best. I really, really do. Happy stitching, everybody. Bye-bye.